What's up everyone and welcome back to the AG Chelsea TV. Today let's get started with Lukaku agrees sale price with Chelsea. Fabrizio Romano always reveals some hot stuff on his daily briefing for Court Offside, and we're delighted to see some Chelsea news there today. It's all to do with Romelu Lukaku, who said goodbye to the Euros qualifiers with a bang this week, lashing in 4 goals to end up as the record-breaking top scorer. That continues a strong start to the season for the Belgian, who has looked better and better since arriving at Roma late in the summer transfer window. They are obviously keen to buy him, and such a deal could be easier to pull off than expected. According to Romano, while there isn't a watertight purchase option written into the loan deal, there is a gentleman's agreement in the deal, which means both parties know where they stand. From what I'm told, Romelu Lukaku has something like a release clause, but not a proper release clause. Romano said, "There is a gentleman's agreement between the players' agents and Chelsea, because they don't want a situation like a few months ago in the summer transfer window when they had to negotiate with Juventus, then with Inter, then with Roma. It was a very complicated summer for Chelsea around the Lukaku story, and so there is now a possibility for him to leave for 40 million euros, and that's not just for Roma, that's for any club. From what I'm told, Roma still have no clarity on what will happen next season with some key figures, such as manager Jose Mourinho and director Thiago Pinto. It's therefore too early for Roma to decide if they can pay that money for Lukaku. We'll have to see around March, April when things will become more clear. We can't see Roma backing out now, and we can't see Chelsea standing in the attacker's way either. They've been burned too many times trying to get more money for him, and they will sensibly take the cash now rather than roll the dice again." Chelsea receive massive injury boost. Pochettino revealed that there was hope the duo could be involved in Chelsea's plans following the international break, but they would be monitored day by day as they look to complete their comebacks. The pair worked together on Chelsea's training pitches ahead of the West London side's match against Man City, but were absent from pictures and videos that the Blues put out over the course of the first week of the Premier League pause. Christopher Nkunku and Romeo Lavia were both featured on Monday night, however, and pictured running together underneath the floodlights at Chelsea's Cobham training base. They remain separate from the rest of the group, so perhaps the possibility of returning versus Newcastle remains unlikely, but their progress over the course of this week is certainly to be watched. Perhaps that should come as no surprise following Pochettino's last conversation with Nkunku. The Blues boss explained, "We had some conversation and he said to me, 'Coach, I want to be ready for after international break, Newcastle.' I asked him yesterday and he said, 'And I said, you are liar. No, I am ready.'" Thiago Silva was one figure back in action after the veteran spent time back in his homeland last week. The Brazilian was pictured completing work in the gym alongside Raheem before going on to complete some ball work with the rest of the team later in the day. Silva, should he play against Newcastle, as he is expected, will become Chelsea's oldest ever outfield player, a stellar record having already become the Blues' oldest goalscorer last time out. While there remains some uncertainty about the rate of recovery of Nkunku and Lavia, Chelsea do appear to have received a double injury boost in defence. While Pochettino already has a full back line of players who have not featured for their countries in Reece James, Thiago Silva, Benoit Badiashile and Marc Cucurella, he seems to have 2 more contenders for the team before Axel Disasi makes his return from France due to Levi Colwill and Malo Gusto pulled out of the England and France under-21 squads respectively due to injury. Colwill missed Chelsea's match against Manchester City due to a shoulder injury, while Gusto underwent a scan with Les Bleus that showed a knee injury. Both players were involved on Monday however, with Gusto showing little hesitancy to slide across the floor in a rondo, while his teammate was pictured dribbling during a drill. 2 clubs pulled out of the race to sign Chalobah. Bayern Munich and 1 other club have pulled out of the race to sign Chelsea defender Trevoh Chalobah. According to Sky Germany journalist Florian Plettenberg, Trevoh Chalobah has picked up another injury and will now be out until the end of January. As a result, Plettenberg has claimed on X that Bayern are no longer planning to make a move for the centre-back in the winter transfer window. The journalist also claims that Bayern's rivals Borussia Dortmund have taken themselves out of the running as well. Chalobah is yet to play a game for Chelsea this season because of the initial injury he sustained a few months back, at the end of October. Team Talk reported that Manchester United were also interested in Chalobah and that Chelsea were looking to sell the 24-year-old for £45 million. However, now that Chalobah could miss the start of 2024, that could put off the Red Devils, who already have their own problems in central defence. Lisandro Martinez is currently sidelined, while Erik ten Hag has not shown too much trust in Rafael Varane lately. You would imagine, then, that the Dutchman would want someone who can come in and play straight away. While Chalobah may now be forced to stay at Chelsea in January, the centre-half could still leave Stamford Bridge next summer. And once he is eventually off their books, a new player could arrive. It seems like overkill given that Mauricio Pochettino already has Thiago Silva, Axel Disasi, Levi Colwill, Benoit Badiashile and Wesley Fofana in his squad. But then again, Silva is out of contract at the end of the season, while Fofana has just not been able to stay fit at Chelsea since arriving from Leicester City last year. But as for Chalobah, his future really is up in the air at the moment. Osimhen always loved Chelsea. Journalist Nizar Kinsella has claimed that Victor Osimhen would probably choose Chelsea over Tottenham Hotspur should the striker decide to leave Napoli. Kinsella has been speaking on the London is Blue Chelsea FC podcast and shared an update on Victor Osimhen's future. Both Ange Postecoglou and Mauricio Pochettino could be in the market for a new forward in January. Tottenham have enjoyed an encouraging start to the campaign, with Son Heung-min excelling while playing as a no-9. The 31-year-old has netted 8 Premier League goals already, but with doubts over Richarlison's long-term future, Spurs are expected to look at a new striker after Harry Kane's departure. As for Chelsea, they have been heavily linked with a move for Osimhen after a mixed start to life in West London for Nicolas Jackson, and the Standard's Nizar Kinsella has suggested Osimhen would favour a move to Stamford Bridge over Tottenham and Arsenal. Speaking on the London is Blue podcast, Kinsella shared what he knows about Chelsea's interest in Osimhen. It's a bad market for strikers in January, and Osimhen is the striker that everyone wants, the journalist said. There's no point in getting another young one now, he'd be a great fit, and Chelsea like him. Osimhen likes Chelsea. I had the information for a little while. He's always loved Chelsea, loved Drogba. They've got some similarities. He'd be interested in Manchester United, but they are not going to sign a striker. It's basically Chelsea, Arsenal and Spurs competing in the battleground, and Osimhen would probably pick Chelsea out of 3. And that's the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to support me.